Wow, it's quiet today. Hey Dan, Greg, what are you doing up at this hour, Greg? This is a very smashed up iPad, this one. I was meant to do this the other night, but didn't have a replacement display on hand. Okay, alright. Decent time then. CP2. So this one's going to be real messy. Hey Adam Hogan. I don't like them when they're like this. It's awkward, it's messy, takes forever to get the stuff out. Fortunately, at least the upside is because the display is damaged, I don't have to worry too much about touching the display. Did I just hear something then? Okay. Alright, let's get this. Start the process. I basically could just punch rip it out. But the risk I have if I do that is that I'll probably forget for long enough that I've still got to take care with the home button, and I will rip that. Hey John L. Was watching Lewis's interview with former. Oh yeah, I thought he was talking about. I saw the start of the aircraft dude one, I think. Unless I've got the wrong. Ugh, yeah, man, come on. Hey, Paul Howe. Welcome. Late stream for you, yeah. Maybe I should just shift my streaming time to sort of first thing in the morning-ish, my time, because it's 1:30 or so here in the afternoon. For those who've just arrived, I'm being very cavalier with this simply because of the fact that the display has to be replaced anyway. But in saying that, it's kind of handy to have a spare display now and then, so I don't want to be completely careless with this. Not to mention the fact that I could always get cut by the glass. And moles. Okay, yeah, now I'm at risk of doing damage to the home button, so time to start being careful. And it is such a messy one. Richard T, 920. Must be different sides of Canada we're dealing with here. Almost there. Okay. Yuck. Also, yeah, I've got a new replacement microphone set. This one I found on eBay for $55 as opposed to paying $190 for a brand new one. This one, supposedly, they just opened the box and closed it again. Not sure why they would do that, but it did seem, when it arrived, I checked it over, it did seem like it was okay. I use it. And I tested the range of the unit, and it does have better range than the previous one that I've been using, even though they are the identical items. Anyway, so got a new one. The peaks may be a little bit reduced because I've got the foam pad on this one. But at least now I have another backup unit in the event that anything happens to this, or in the event that I want to have a second person chit-chatting. Not that I can imagine that happening anytime. Alright, so this one has damage along the edge here. I'm not sure what caused, how it got damaged, but I mean, obviously there was smash involved, but I can't see any specific marks on there. So we'll just write on this 20250711. Good to hear the sounds good. No pun intended. Hey, Richard, well, thanks for dropping in. Okay, now we've got to get this off. Jim. Oh yeah, we came close to damaging that flex. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world. You put another one in there, but you do lose your Touch ID. It's just annoying. So preferably you don't have to resort to such things. Much to the jealousy of Greg, and I do apologise, I've actually been having a decent run of luck with the couriers lately. My stuff's been showing up on time, like next day, from one particular supplier, but nonetheless it's still nice. Like, I've been able to go back to, okay, customer comes in with a phone job and they need a part, and I can get the part the next day, and at a reasonable time, as in, it arrives here about 1 o'clock, which gives me enough time to then get the job done, and the customer picks it up that same day. It's amazing how much more productive you can be when you have dependable courier situation or delivery situation. Okay. You get next day delivery from DigiKey. They seem to have a depot in Winnipeg. Oh, okay, well that is handy. For DigiKey or Element 14, things like that, it's still 3 to 5 days for me, because they don't have anything here in Australia anymore. It's all been shipped in from It's either coming out of the UK or the US. It's a bit of a shame, because it used to be fantastic. Yeah, you would get next day delivery on most parts here in Australia. No more. And then the people who do have parts here in Australia, they do not offer next day or overnight deliveries. So you're kind of stuck on 3 to 5 days no matter what. Well, it's not good about that cyber attack there, Moles. Okay. Let's clean this up. I found out the other day that, just by accident, that my microscope had gone back to 30 frames per second. Like, it was delivering 60, or rather I should say, what was that? No, it was delivering 30, but it was double pumped. And so it looked like it was 60, but then I was stepping through one of the videos trying to check something, and lo and behold, I noticed that it took 2 frames to make a change, which of course is the classic double stuffing of a 30 to make it seem like a 60. But I think it was OBS that was doing it, because I went into the microscope settings, not the microscope settings, I went into the OBS settings and changed the source again, and I set it to 2160 at 60 frames per second, and it went back to having changes every single frame. So I don't know what the hell happened there. Oh, great, now we've got a blackout. Okay, hang on there. You should see what it comes back as. Come on. Let's see. Microscope camera, 2160/60. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so I don't know what happened there. I don't know whether it was OBS or goodness knows what. Because the camera does definitely put out 60 frames per second genuine, as in it's not double pumped. Okay, I feel like I have to change this. I have I think I do. I'm going to test it. Last week I had one where I sealed it all up, and the next morning the button fell off. Okay, that one feels okay. Let's hope it stays that way. Yeah, I'm going to have to separate that. Get our replacement digitizer. Get off. Get off. Certainly when it comes to the microscope, the 60 frames per second does make a big difference for me when I'm doing if I'm, say, trying to find something on the board retrospectively. It's like I've done the video and I want to check to see whether I touched or saw a particular component during the process, then having the 60 really helps. More because you have the faster shutter speed, well, relatively speaking. And so your images aren't blurry. Okay, time to put on some Soren bonding. Oh no, we cannot do that. Look at that, we still have some glass there. That's completely unacceptable. It's happening, Miles. Prepare yourself. I don't know whether it's bad luck or whatever, but the reason why I changed to hot snot is because the bonding pads I've used in the past, even proper 3M stuff and such, within a few weeks around here they would let go, and I would have to redo the button bonding. So maybe it's bad luck, I don't know. But I haven't been able to find anything that's as good as the original bonding that they use. I'd say it's probably bad luck more than anything else. But in saying that, I haven't had any returns on hot snot. So I'm sticking with it for now. That's it. You come up for a good replacement, I'll have a shot with it. But I'm essentially only reacting to the failures of the past. We had a few returns on 3M tape for holding screen. Yeah, then we found some decent pull tabs and have a look at. Well, send me a link if you got something. Because I mean, I was using 3M and then I used Tessa, and neither of them would, and I'd clean properly with the IPA, everything. And for some reason they would just delaminate. And it was extremely frustrating for myself and the customer, of course. You don't want your customer coming back unless they've got a new device with a new fault. But coming back with the old device with the same fault, now that's a problem. Or rather, fault that wasn't their fault. Hey there, Q's. Yeah, middle of the day here, buddy. I can live with grippy. Kind of want to have this shift a little to the right, just a smidge. Yeah, not going to get it. Am I sure it was real 3M? Well, it came from a reputable supplier. I have no reason to think it wasn't. I mean, if I got it from AliExpress, sure, yeah, I wouldn't trust it then. A bit like Captain Tape. AliExpress Captain Tape is most certainly almost never Captain Tape. Polyamide, whatever you want to call it. It's always just brown normal tape. Or maybe slightly heat tolerant, but certainly not sufficiently heat tolerant. Christos. Don't think I'll buy 3M no more. Bought a roll of duct tape a year ago, tried to use a couple of weeks ago, and it did not work. Started tearing layers through, like when you're trying to unroll it, it would take layers beyond the one it's currently on. I hate that. Not sure I trust that button. Yeah, I've got to go up. It's way too much on the edge. Okay. So much for me saying my alignments are good. Ha! Provably wrong. I blame Miles, he made me nervous. But yeah, I've had a number of rolls from reputable places lately that have done that kind of bollocks where they start picking up layers from the next layer. Mycosis. Yeah, just doing daily jobs here. Okay, that's a lot better. That's more on central. Okay, so we'll put that aside. Now we focus on cleaning. Yeah, this is going to be fun. And there's always a piece or two that you miss, and then just as you close up, they reappear, usually on your display. I had one the other day. and I basically had to turn the pad on its side and just go, and it made the glass drop into the foam barrier, bonding foam barrier on the side, and it'll just stay there. I was like, I am not ripping you open, because if I open it back up, dust would, it'd just make it worse. So thankfully the sharp drop did the trick. I do have MacBooks to fix up, but usually what happens is during the day I end up doing iPads, iPhones, IT work, like backing up people's drives or recovering data from drive, that kind of thing. And then at night time, it's not intentional, but it just seems to end up this way. At night time, I end up doing the MacBooks more often than not. Okay, I feel like my blade has a little divot in it. You can hear a bit of scraping from the blade, and I'm pretty sure it's the divot digging in. There's also plenty of dirt to clear off this too. Anyone watch the American Primeval Netflix short series? Did a bit of a binge a few nights ago watching that. Crazy how cheap 1466 now is. Wow, Dan, that's actually a really, really good buy. Was that a 165 model or was that a 3437 or earlier? Obviously 2012s aren't any good. I gotta say, Q's, the person who bought me these blades, I'm really upset that I never... Normally I put people's names on things that they send in. For some reason I didn't, and now I don't know who it was, and I've asked many a time and no one's ever put their hand up and said it was me. So forever seem like I'm thankless. 165 model, that's good. Any idea what spec it is? I've got a couple of 165s to fix up here. I gotta admit though, they are getting to the point now where they're very rarely straightforward faults. I've got a good number of IMC, IMS failures, internal memory failure, controller failure. Yeah, I didn't mind the American Primeval series, except right at the end they ruined it. And I mean right at the end, pretty much. Like the departing line, I was like, no, you just Killed the whole. Should have left that out. It was almost as bad as the ending of Battlestar Galactica, the new series, the new version, not the original 70s series. Watch a better drama called US. What a disaster that one is. After the latest Deadpool, lost all interest in movies and TV. Yeah, I'm finding it very difficult to watch stuff. So I tend to split between YouTube live streams and usually it's anime on Netflix that I'm watching. I was quite surprised by the, I don't know how to pronounce it, the Apothecary Diaries. That one caught me off guard. I didn't expect to be so interested in that one. That came out really good, and I see they've got a second season coming. I haven't even bothered to watch Squid Season 2 or 3. I'm like, no, I'm done with that. Hey Zolden, hey Ace, how's it going there? Shouldn't you be working, or have you already taken early Friday off? You're like, yeah, I've worked hard all week. Have an early smoko on a Friday. Those Hall controllers are working fine. I've put them through the paces with 7 days today. I got nothing to complain about with them. They're cheap too. Easy to replace, especially once I use the hot air system. Doing it manually with the soldering iron and clippers was a bit brutal, but switching over to the hot air, dead easy. There are so many little crappy pieces of glass in here. It's annoying as hell. I do believe Futurama's got another season coming out. I never was as happy with Futurama after they hit the movie length version. Yeah, it was like the first 4, or was it 5 seasons? They were great. Laughed myself stupid with those. But then after that, it just sort of became more like, oh yeah, I'll breathe through my nose a little harder that time. It's going to blast some glass shards everywhere. Oh, there's a big chunk one there. So big that I didn't realise it was a piece of glass. Sometimes, I guess, some comedies just don't last more than 3 or 4 seasons. I mean, as much as I lament the short life or short number of seasons of IT Crowd, it probably was for the best. Although, what the hell happened with bloomin' Firefly Serenity? That one was definitely one that was way too short-lived. And we didn't even get a proper finish on that one. I know the movie tried, but yeah. That was disappointing. Too late now. Man, so many pieces of glass. All right. Let's go. Let's get the digitizer on. Someone's got it backwards. Need to 3D print myself a proper holder for that back screen for the digitizer, instead of this jazz where I'm kind of half balancing it. Jeez, he's a fiddly. Really, if you're going to do repair businesses, don't ever think that iPads are going to be money makers. They're almost, in terms of the amount of time that you got to put into it versus your hourly rate, they are not a good investment. But I do them anyway because otherwise people will go to other places in town. But I make quite a bit more doing iPhone replacement screens than I do iPads. On the rare occasion you might get an iPad that goes smoothly, and that's usually because it's been serviced previously and it hasn't got a severe crack in it. So you can get away with a quicker, easier, cleaner job. Now there is a sheet of protective stuff on this. Actually there's two sheets on here, so I better get them both off. It's always good to hear a nice positive click like that. When all you get is just like a mush feeling, then you're worried, oh great, it hasn't clipped in properly, or have I misaligned it and damaged the edges of the connector. But when you get a nice positive click click, that's makes you happy. Ach nee man. Yeah, and then you go and stuff it up like that. That's always good. Okay, is it me? No, it's fine. Okay. Yeah, it is. Certainly they didn't give two hoots about any kind of serviceability of them. iPods are actually worse. iPod 4th generation was tolerably bad, and then 5th generation came out, and I think we all just sort of went, nope, that's it, we're done, we're not doing iPods anymore. I don't know personally of anybody who ever decided, yeah, you know what, I'm going to keep doing iPods. Everybody just walked away. Alright, I don't know why, but with these displays, they do not seem to give me a pull tab for them. And so I've got to come in with a blade, which I really don't like. Well, at least that works. Now we have to see if the digitizer works after we've put it all together. Oh, this person's got it on rotational lock. That confused me for a second. Yeah, if you're new to iPads, if you see a little lock symbol with a circle around it up there, that means it's on rotational lock, which will be you can't get it to flip around. And you might be thinking, oh great, my magnetic compass sensor's no good, but no, in this case it's just the lock. Okay, cancel, touch is working, home button's working, good. Now I just got to clamp it up. I mean, overall, I still prefer Apple gear over, say, a lot of the Samsung stuff, or pretty much any other Android stuff. Because I know a lot of people say, oh, Apple's got glue and stickers and all that. And yeah, they do for some, but mostly Apple tends to still have more screw-based solutions than a lot of the other a lot of other companies. Not that I'm defending Apple as such, it's just I still prefer to service their gear. Okay, I just need to heat this section at the bottom here a little bit. The reason being is I forgot to trim off my excess hot glue, and so it's just kind of pushing the frame up a little bit. So you just heat it up a smidge and it squeezes it out of the way. Well, if you want to talk about painful screw counts, I mean, look at the iPhone 4S. That thing was a nightmare. Compared to, say, modern iPhones like 12, or when we got to like 12, 13, 11 and 12 pretty good, then 13, 14 onwards, they got even easier to replace. Like, we don't even have any cameras in the displays or anything now. It's just, you just got that one little stickered area with the sensor, and that's it. Alright, set that up to bond down a little more. In a couple of hours I can send that out. Alright, now it's time for the next job. What do you got, Paul? What do you got? MacBook. That's okay, Paul. Thanks for dropping in anyway. Okay. Got a 2251 not booting. I really hope it's not the GAY regulators. The main reason why I don't like it if it's going to be the GAY regs is because so far I have had dreadful luck with those. I'll replace the regulators and the machines will boot up for a little bit and then they will just die. So it's like something went wrong originally, damaged the board, and then when I finally get it back, the board says, "Oh, thank goodness you brought me back to life so that I can honourably die." And then it dies. Hey, Tedberry. Yeah, did I already beep that in? Yeah, I did. Okay, so this is not a 2141 or a 1990, so I can take the opportunity to see what sort of boot looping behavior it's doing, if any. Oh, sandwich splitting machines, yeah. I've got one for the iPhone 10 and 11, 10s, XS, but I keep thinking about it. Okay, what are we doing here? Maybe if we're lucky, this is just a 3v8. I don't know if I can be that lucky. Okay, so we're sitting at 335. We're not getting to 20 volts, and it's rebooting after, call it 15 seconds. Interesting. This is a new one. So I'm kind of hoping the fact that it's not getting to 20 volts, that it may be 3v8 Aeon that we have a problem with. I'll try not get too hopeful. What documentary were you watching, Yavrilla? We don't see too many of these 2251s around. I don't know if they didn't sell much, because they were pitched as a Pro model, but it just sort of felt more like a enhanced Air model, because they put the touch bar on this, and that's pretty much it. What's this? What are you calling? Miles is thinking, what are you thinking, 3v8? Oh, I'll tell you what, if I can actually get it open, it'd be a good start. Right. Pretty sure this is the model that a lot of people would insert their spudges and rip off the chip. Okay, Q's, you take care. Or maybe it wasn't. No, it wasn't this particular model. We've got a lot of build-up of craft junk, nasty stuff. So we might have a simple short even. Well, that'd be nice. Hey Tony W, welcome. It is funny to see people in the repair industry who don't normally do Macs, and for a while there they'll be disparaging towards Mac repairs. But then I've noticed that a lot of them, once they get a couple of Mac repairs, then they start really looking for Mac repairs. Because I think they realize, like, oh wow, there's actually a lot of information on how to repair them. There's board views, there's schematics, there's technical support. There's plenty of experience out there. All of a sudden, Mac repairs become the we want to do it thing. What's this? A documentary about Mulinex and how they have fallen out of existence. Okay. That one I don't know anything about. I actually quite liked the touch bar, even for its fragility. I think it peaked with the physical. Yes, when they pulled out the escape key and put it back onto the keyboard, definitely that was an important thing. Because, okay, I just noticed something here. Or was it me? That screw is not sitting in there properly. Yeah, Macs are very tolerant. Unlike what Mr. Rossman tries to pitch out there, and I'm fairly sure he's half joking. MacBooks are extremely tolerant of abuse. They're very solid boards. I mean, yeah, there's some design snafus, absolutely, like the 2V, the NAND VREG thing in particular was a very bad design snafu. But overall, yeah, if you gave me a choice, I would sooner just keep repairing these. When it comes to generic PC laptop repairs, yeah, it's even if you do find a board view and schematic, a lot of the time it's the wrong variant. Yeah, there's just so much variability, lack of, yeah, your job is a lot harder. Unless it's basically a shorted out cap. I mean, obviously people like Soren do very well with. I don't know if that was a bird or Milo. It kind of sounded more like a bird. So let's check the top of the air conditioner. No, it's Mo. Mo, what are you doing up there? Yeah, I thought you were a bird. Yeah. You gonna come down? Let's go get him off the air conditioner. Milo's on the air conditioner. Flying off the. Good job, Mo. Good job. What are you doing, buddy? You should be sleeping. And some bickies. I'll get you some bickies. Where are the biscuits? You want some of these? There you go. That's a good boy. Alrighty, yeah. Alrighty. That's fun. At least he jumped down on his own rather than me having to spend 10 minutes convincing him that he should. Yeah, someone's definitely been here. The look of this keyboard thing tells me someone's lifted it up before, but they didn't seem to fully disassemble it. They just did a little bit. Hey, full wave. Yeah, they've definitely lifted the fan connectors. But I know they haven't taken the board out. Well, if they have, they've done an exceedingly good job of putting it back in. Maybe they have. What are you, T6? You're at T5. This particular model probably is one of the messier designs. It gives me 1425 vibes. I don't know if any of you remember the 1425. It came out before the 1502, the very successful 1502. Wait, I thought I took that out. That was a brain fart. Again, always very important to limit the amount of force you apply on these things, so that if you have forgotten something like that, you don't create a disaster. The button, the touch on-off button, just needs that little bit of heat to get it to come off the board. Alright. Full wave's been off the grid getting eye surgery. Oh, is that all done, or you still got more to do, or what's going on there? As we can see, we have a fairly decent fluff dose on this one, so we could have like a corroded out cap or something preventing the 3217s from firing off. So we'll just brush off the worst. Start looking under the microscope. All done, just healing up. Oh, that's good to hear. Was it LASIK or something else that you used? My white toothbrush that I normally use broke last night. I think it was actually made out of tapioca starch plastic, which I really like that stuff. And yeah, I think it just finally reached its limit. That cap there let's see, is that just dust? Okay. It's okay that a little bit flaked off that diode, that's fine. Alright. Nothing overly convincing there. We'll just put a pink dot there just to say, okay, we saw that. Come back and inspect it later if you can't find anything else. The 300 milliamp constant and then a reset does make me think I'm more inclined to think of it as a bit of a short or something. Although the reset's a little bit unusual. Normally, if you have a problem on the 3215's logic, and it's a little bit cooked up, that chip. They don't usually reset. Okay, let's check the top side. Hey Pedro. Brings you to this good part of the world with your not so good intentions. Alright. What's going on here? That's interesting. That diode has basically shorted itself out to protect the board. Can't say I've ever seen them die like that before. That's a new way. I guess it's just the protective cover on it. But yeah, that definitely has gone to heaven. $31 ohms, that seems a smidge low for that kind of thing. Okay, now before I change it over, I want to check. Okay, so it's a 1949 board. We're down here. Did Mo get back up on there? Mo, no. You stay down there. Yeah, you stay down there. Might have to wrap this up soon. He's getting a little bit too frantic. Anyway, it is this diode here. And yeah, we've got a diode mode on that. Should be 0.76, but what we measured would be more like 0.03. So we'll take the diode off. And yeah, that's that's an important line. Hey, zero effect. So yeah, basically we could take that off and almost leave that off, but I'm not going to. I will replace it. Come on, heat up. Heat up. Thank you. Yeah, he needs attention. Again, as usual, like every other day. Ach nee man. Ruining the other diode now. Fine, hot air it is. I was kind of hoping I could just lift it off. But it seems like it doesn't want to play that game. It's probably going to be easier for me to take this sticker off and then reapply it. As I said, it's only Thunderbolt under there. Hopefully it hasn't welded itself. Nope. Just wanted to put that one back. We'll take this one off too because I did damage, well I didn't damage it, but I kind of laid the top of the soldering iron on it for too long. Let's see what that resistance value is now. 37, that's not good. See, that's what I'd be more expecting, 5k or something like that, so I'm a little worried about that one. I feel like it may have done something internal. I'm just going to double check by switching into diode mode. So it may have actually damaged the 3217. Yeah, 0.03. I have a feeling that's damaged the 3217. So if we go to the schematics, we're on that line. Let's see. It's on U3100. Yeah. Bugger. That's this one here. Okay, 31. This is the T model. That's annoying. Alright. Time to come off, Mr. T. Now, of course, hopefully we should have another one of these around the place. Thankfully, at least they're not underfilled. There's always things to be thankful for. Yeah, you can't bypass these too easily. We don't even know how to do that with the 3215s. Yeah, it's pretty good. Poor little Mo is just sitting on the sill of the window. You right there, Mo? He's like, it's not fair. Crikey. Not rightly sure if I even have a donor board for this. This will be a problem if I don't have a donor. Although I might be able to use something like a 2179 board actually. That should be a compatible option. I'm fairly sure a 2179 would do the trick. What do we got here? Oh, actually, no, it wouldn't. This is a 4-port. Sorry. For some reason, I was thinking it was a 2-port. That was very wrong of me. No, this is a 4-port. Okay, I've got a 1949 here. And do I have... Oh, lucky me. It actually has one chip left on it, and it is the right one. Honestly, that child of mine... Oh, okay, this could be a problem. That's a big circle version, whereas we've got the little circle version. Now, I know some people have said that it doesn't matter, and other people said that it does matter. And I'm going to go with it does matter at this point. So I do wonder whether I can actually use a 920, no, a 1700 board. I have a feeling a 1700 board might actually be compatible. That is an A2141. So we want small circle editions. And what have we got here? Small circle edition. Now I need to find out which one's the T and which one's the X. So we want a T 1700. Okay, primary ACE. They're using different terminology here. Okay, that's fine. You see, they've instead of doing 3132, they've got T and X. Okay, AC2 is the other one. AC1. No. Okay, this is T. Oh, it actually says it. Oh, wait, yeah, of course it says it's T because this is the 1949. Crap. I'm fairly sure T is the primary. Yeah, I'm gonna say T is the primary. Oh, what? Give me my full power, thank you. Got a slightly dud pad there. Looks okay now. Stencil. I'm actually not sure what I've done with my proper 3217 ones. I do have alternative 3217s, but I did have a set that was like a quadruple 3217, and it was a very nice stencil. I could consistently get the results I wanted from it without any drama. I'm not sure what I've done with it, which is very annoying. Lower right corner, that is just a, what do you call it, marker. See if I can use this dodgy paste. Just warm it up a little. See if it goes over. Come on, man, you can do it. Come on, crusty paste. Maybe this paste is a little bit too crusty. Yeah, that's severely crusty paste. See how it goes anyway. This is a joke. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to redo this one. The paste just went too far to crumble land. There was no... It seemed like there was no remaining flux in it. That was my bad. And yes, the stencil will be somewhere safe. Somewhere where I've like, look, I've put it aside just for this purpose so that I don't lose it. And proceeds to lose it. Spend more time flipping cleaning this out than I would have if I just used fresh paste. Idiot. Alright, guess it's fresh paste time. Assuming I've got any. Well, what balls would you get for this size? Come on. Seriously. There's no balls that will fit this. What are you going to get 0.15 balls somewhere? Send me some of those fine 0.15s and I can use them on my T2 that I'm trying to reball as well. Be happy to have those. That was easy. I guess there is a difference between dry paste and dead paste. Oh no, Paul, you just effed it up. The hell's going on there? That's interesting, they didn't coalesce together. Ah, I hate it when that happens. Sometimes drop a little bit of flux in amongst it and reheat it and it'll come good, but it's very annoying when that happens. Basically it's because I probably had too high a temperature. You gotta be kidding me, I hate it when this happens. And for some reason, once they get into this mood, it's seemingly impossible to get them to reform. See what I mean? They're just not even trying to come back together. It's like there's contaminant in there or something. Yeah, that didn't even try. And yet the paste seemed perfectly fine. Hey, see those miniature balls? They're not even coming together when I do this. I think maybe my paste has gotten a little too old. Oh wow, I got some big balls on there. Ach nee man. Where is that child? I was gonna go check where that child is. I just heard a bunch of noise that wasn't right. No. Yeah. Weird. I heard a noise that I don't know what it was. Sound like my clattering up the window or something, but it wasn't. He's right up there. I don't know where your boy is. I don't imagine he would be. This is like bring your child to work day, except it's every day, all day for me. and it's lovely in many ways, except the little bastards are supposed to be asleep at this time, and they're not. They're just roaming around, causing me grief. Let's try this again. Oh, pin one up there now. I mean, I know there's some residual little bit of dregs and stuff in there, but should not be having the trouble I'm having. But, of course, reballing can be a bit like cooking with flour and things like that. You've got to compensate for the weather and all the other things. So we're going to go back to... See, it's a tough call. See, if I go 300, it might be a little low. Yeah. So hopefully I can get the chip to warm up a little more before they go into the reflow stage. What's not helping is that I do have the steel plate under my, what do you call it? There we go. Yeah, there's a steel plate under this non-stick silicon pad, and I think it's playing silly buggers with me. And now I do not have my usual toothbrush, so I'm going to have to use this, which might be a little bit aggressive. Well, we survived. Hey Greg, thanks for being here. Okay, whenever I'm putting them back on, I drop the air. Normally I have the air at 60, so I've got 460 Celsius and 60 air. But when I put them back on, I drop it to 40. It's still 460 though. Too much air, there's too much of a risk of a gust getting underneath the chip and flipping it off. Particularly when it starts getting into the flux flowing mode. That looked pretty good. Let's see. Yep, 3:50 in the afternoon it is. Okay, let's put those little diodes back on. Just need to prep the surface since there's a little bit of a mess there. So we only had one blown diode, but I wasn't happy with how the other one was treated by my misadventures. So we're going to end up putting two down. I don't like the feel of that pad. It almost feels like it welded through or something. So I'm going to have to come with the big guns and try and see if it can come off. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. It sort of feels like it's the piece of the diode, but I can't guarantee it. And it's very hard to get a sufficient amount of energy into that little spot. I genuinely feel if I push that, something bad's going to happen, so I'm going to leave it be. It is solderable. It's just not as good as I would like. Sometimes you got to know when to walk away. Know when to run. It's going to stink up a bit. And they are different diodes by the looks of it. These ones have got 2O markings, or these have got 6R or something on them. Hey Josh Human. At least the nice thing about these diodes is that they are bidirectional, which I know is counter to what you'd expect from a diode, but they're transient protection diodes. Anyway. That's good. Now we just have a very yucky board. Yucky yuck. And with really low quality cotton buds like this, you don't want to go getting too aggressive with the cleanup, because those threads will snare around the neck of those diodes and you'll rip them clean up, and then you'll be back to where you were before. And our moles. Hey, Covey. Well, it's, you know what, I just want to check that capacitor that I was a little bit sus about. I'd be very suspicious, I'd be very shocked if it actually had a problem, but I just want to check it anyway. 128. Yeah, I don't know what I'm expecting there. .128 and 138. That's pretty close. Yep. So that's good. Let's see. Was there another test point we could use for? We got 1, 2, 3. Nope. Customers do a very good job of it. I should send you a picture of the 1502. You've been sneezing for a week. Did you see the PlayStation I did the other night? I think you did. That was an experience. Alright, someone's taken my USB-C. Who would do such a thing to me? How is it that you have 5 or 6 USB-C ports floating around on your bench and you're like, oh, I've got to put these away, and you don't. And then when you actually want one, it's like, no, sorry, no USB-C ports here. That's fine. We have plenty more. So that 5 or 6 is now going to become 7 or 8. Way worse was enough dust to knit yourself a blanket. Oh, very giving customer. Alright, let's see. And if this works, I can go play some 7 Days after I've made Milo happy. Come on, give me my 20 volts. Yay, 20 volts. Man, it's working. I don't know if we'll see a green blinks or anything, but it's working. So it's fixed. So I'd say something on their, what do you call it? They probably had a bad charger or something came through, shot through the charger, blew the transient diode. That's a protection diode, but it wasn't enough, and it blew the 3217. Nice thing is, this at least tells us that you can use you can use A2141 3217s on these boards. So, yeah. Not easy pizza, but still well within the realm of acceptably easy. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go deal with Milo, and I'm going to get myself a coffee and start my weekend. This here, I'll put back together over the weekend and send it out on Monday. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one, whenever that may be. Until then, you all take care. I'll catch you later.